Enemies are good. Yep, enemies are good. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because enemies bring you challenges. Challenges bring you lessons. Lessons brings you wisdom. So here you go. Maybe you don't have no one to call your enemy. But have you ever been betrayed or lied to? Have you ever felt that someone wanted to see you fail or someone that enjoyed to see you struggle? Have you ever had to prove yourself to someone who underestimated you? Have you ever had to fight your way or of being labeled or boxed or silenced by someone? That's your enemy. Not because you hate them, but because they became resistant in your path. It's not about hate. An enemy is someone that forces you to become sharper, cleaner, stronger, and more awake. Sometimes you are your enemy, placing those roadblocks, undermining yourself, sabotaging your way to success, clarity, and peace. In today's video, I want to help you spotting an enemy, dealing with it to your own advantage. So if you're ready, let's do this. An enemy is not just someone who wants to harm you. It's anything or anyone that actively resists your growth, freedom, or truth, intentionally or not. So to make it easier, we're going to subdivide the enemies in three big families. The external enemies, they are your direct opponents, the hidden enemies, and the systemic or environmental enemies. And then we have the internal enemies that are composed by fear, ego, doubt, and beliefs. And then for last, we have the shadow enemies that are composed by the mirror and the menses. By the end of the video, you're going to know how to identify and classify an enemy. So within your external enemies, you have your direct enemies. Who are they? People who openly try to stop you, harm you, or compete with you. These can be bullies, rivals, backstabbers, jealous coworkers, the list goes on. So this is where it gets interesting because you can use your enemies in your advantage. And I give you the example. You can practice your skills like conflict resolution, conflict avoidance, so you can predict the next time and you have a better advantage in responding to those enemies. So people like this, they openly try to stop you, they compete with you, they bring you down. And I can give you an example. If you work in the office, is this someone that is always interrupting you during the meetings? He tries to look better than you, he brings you down, and he always tries to one-up you and goes behind your back, and it kind of makes your life harder. This is the person I'm talking about. But you can learn from this. You can learn how to speak up for yourself. You can practice this. You can learn how to stay calm under pressure. Just play with the situation. You can learn how to protect your ideas and just bring something to the table. Don't take things too serious. Sometimes you can actually afford to have some fun and practice your skills. Another one is that fake friend, that friend that turns on and starts being a competitor. A friend that starts comparing you in everything, who's more successful, who looks better, who's more ahead in life. So the lessons you can take from this is first what not to be. You learn to be confident in your own path. You learn that real friends don't compete and they support each other. So this is what I want to take from this. Choose your friends wisely because sometimes they're just up to something. I can give you another example. A boss or a mentor that holds you back. They feel threatened by you. They know you have potential, so they try to hold you back. They try to make your opportunities hard to get. The lesson here is you learn that you have to trust your own voice, not just your mentor. You learn that not all leaders want you to grow, and that is okay. You learn to find your own path, and sometimes you're gonna have to go by yourself without approval of your boss or your mentor. You're just gonna have to sometimes even leave them behind. Still part of your external enemies, there are hidden enemies. They are wolves in sheep's clothing. They are people who seem friendly but undermine you. They act behind the scenes. They can be friends, passive-aggressive family members, manipulative mentors, and the list goes on and on. So who are these wolves in sheep's clothing? These fake friends, these enemies? They're people that pretend to support you, but they secretly envy you and they sabotage you behind your back. I'm going to give you an example. That friend that smiles when you start your YouTube journey, when you follow your passion, and later he mocks you behind your back. He talks behind your back. So what is the lesson here? What can you learn and what can you practice for your own good? You can learn how to recognize the energy shift when your friend starts becoming jealous behind your back. Pay attention to this. Also, you can learn how to become autonomous, how to set boundaries when you need to. And most importantly, you learn how to protect your creative fire. That dreamy fire that you have inside of you that most of us suppress because of peer advice, because of the fear of judgment. I do assume that there's a lot of good people in the world, and I approach everybody like they are good people. But you have to be careful, don't drop your guard, because it can be fatal. At last but not least, we have the systemic or environmental enemies. This can be institutions, cultures, or environments that suppress your voice and potential. Good examples would be corrupt systems, toxic workplaces, or social prejudice. So these systemic and environmental enemies, these are not people. These are systems, cultures, places that quietly block you from growing, and they block your freedom as well. A good example, it's a good toxic work culture. Long hours, fake smiles, politics and progress over anything. You know, when you're praised for burning out and not for being healthy and not for doing your job in a safely manner. The lesson here is learn how to set your boundaries, protect your peace, protect your safety, and the value is not exhaustion. The value is doing a good job. Another good example is social bias. You work twice as hard as anybody else, but you're passed over because of your race, your gender, or your background. The lesson here teaches you to build resilience, clarity, and how to speak up, not just for yourself, but always speak up for others as well. Another good one, it's political systems. In some places, speaking the truth punishes you. That's it. Corruption thrives and you have no chance. But you can stand up. You learn that the power of freedom and your responsibility of using your voice, even if it's risky. Another great example is cultural norms. When you're told that stay quiet, be normal, or not dream too big, or money is a bad thing. What you can learn from this, you learn how to question what you were taught and to write your own rules. Follow your beliefs, mold your life. Next, we have your internal enemies. And we can start with fear, a well-known enemy of all of us. Is that voice inside of you that says you're not good enough, or and if you fail. Fear, we all have it. Fear was made to keep you safe, but it can also get you stuck. When you face it, you realize most of it lives in your mind. And once you step through it, even trembling, you grow. And you build courage, confidence, and clarity. Each time you face fear, you remind yourself you are capable of more than what you thought. So, fear is actually a growth tool that we should explore more often. In second place, we have the ego. And it's that part of us that wants to always be right and look perfect. Oh, the ego. Well, the ego of itself, I can make a full video about the ego. But I'm just going to give you a quick explanation. The ego was made to protect your identity, but it can also trap you in a version of yourself that does no longer fit you. When you observe it, instead of obeying the ego, you begin to grow. You listen more, you learn more, You connect with yourself in a deeply way. Letting go of the ego doesn't make you smaller, it makes you freer. So people with a big ego, usually they're trapped in this identity crisis. So this is it. As you become more aware of your ego through practices of meditation or self-awareness, you have the opportunity to grow and explore other areas of your life that don't fit these molds that you are into. Another internal enemy is doubt. And again, it's those thoughts of uncertainty that paralyzes you even when your path is clear. So what can we learn about doubts? How can we use doubts towards our advantage? Well, doubts teach you a lot of things. It shows you where you're unclear, where you're unprepared, when you're uncertain. Instead of running from it, ask yourself, what is this doubt trying to teach me? Use it to sharpen your vision, question your assumptions, and build real confidence, because confidence is what you need to overcome your doubt. Doubt means you're close to growth. Learn how to push yourself and move forward and conquer your objectives. And finally, we have old beliefs. Old beliefs are thoughts like success is money and fame and status, other people's opinions define my value, real man or woman don't show emotion, I'm not good enough. These are the things you learn in childhood that you still believe that are true today. Your old beliefs. How can you capitalize in your old beliefs? Your old beliefs are not your enemies. They're your origins. They once protected you, they guided you, or they made sense. But that's in a past version of your life. Now you need to grow. And to grow, don't just reject your old beliefs. Study them. Ask, why did I believe this? Where did it come from? Use what serves for you. Release what does not serve for you. And now you build a new you. Your past beliefs are stepping stones, not cages. Learn from them and build a better self. Our third and last group of enemies are the shadow enemies. These can be called karmic or existential. The first on this group is called the mirror. It's when a person triggers you and they reflect the parts of yourself that you did not accept yet. So the mirror, this inner enemy, what is it? The mirror is another person who reflects something that is inside of you, that defines you, a trait that you deny, that you hate, but you haven't owned it yet. They trigger you because they show you that. So what does this teach you? It reveals your blind spots. The person who annoys you the most often holds the piece of your shadow. So how to overcome it? Stop fighting the reflection. Integrate it. The more you accept the parts of yourself, the less control these mirrors have over you. Learn from them. Then thank them. Thank them sincerely and move on. And to finalize our shadow enemies, we have the nemesis. The nemesis is a lifelong rival that keeps reappearing to challenge you. The nemesis is that old voice talking to you in that pattern, a survival response that once protected you but now works against you. Can hide in thoughts, old childhood beliefs, fear of judgment, toxic guilt, many different situations. Think of it like this. It's a mental or an emotional loop that keeps dragging you back to the same place you were before. It's sneaky. It hides in your workaholism, in your self-doubt, in your people-pleasing, in your perfectionism. I'm going to give you some examples. Robin Williams, he fought depression while making the world laugh. His nemesis was the feeling that his joy didn't matter. Jim Carrey struggled with the pressure of just being Jim Carrey, just being an actor, famous actor. And he had to let go that identity. So today he can be himself. My nemesis was alcohol. It kept haunting me for many, many years. Now I'm alcohol free for 10 years. But I don't drop my guard. Alcohol is everywhere and is just waiting to attack again. So I keep respecting because once I learned what was my nemesis. So your nemesis is not here to destroy you, but it's here to teach you something, to make you stronger, to show that parts of yourself you have to outgrow. So if you find your nemesis, you have to understand that he was not there to destroy you. It was there to help you growing. And you have to keep it under control and never drop your guard, because the nemesis, it always wants to come back and slow you down. So now that you know what kind of enemies exist and how can you leverage them to your advantage, you can start analyzing yourself so you can benefit from this knowledge. If you enjoyed this content, hit that like button to boost this message to more people out there. And if you like personal development and wellness and adventure, join me, subscribe my channel. I'm dropping more videos like this soon, and remember, don't hate your enemies. Identify them, learn from them, and then you can outgrow them. For now, just relax and don't forget to smell the flowers.